Welcome to Greater Zion Stadium. Trailblazer football here on the Fan Sports Network and Trailblazer Vision on YouTube. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster, and we've been circling this game when the schedules came out, and it has finally arrived, Caden. It's the rivalry game. The battle axe is on the line tonight, and here we go. T-Birds coming down from Cedar City to take on the Trailblazers.
That's right. Definitely the game that everyone's been looking forward to here around all of Southern Utah. And when I say Southern Utah, I don't mean Southern Utah University. I mean the area, right? Southern Utah University and, of course, in Utah Tech here in St. George. So, yeah, both of these schools always looking forward to this. This is kind of a fresh thing for us, and I know that's kind of been a topic of conversation is, I know this is new. Is it really a rivalry? In my opinion, I say yes. And the reason I say yes is because, if we're being honest, St. George and Cedar have always kind of had a little animosity, a little friendly rivalry amongst the cities that will translate into this game today.
I've heard stories from Flyer fans and old Cedar Red fans that those high school games, there was fights in the parking lot back in the old days.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've heard, and I agree, geographically, it's certainly got the makings of a rivalry. We got into this conversation a lot this week, and we put up a Twitter poll, and some people say, no, it's not there yet. You need longevity. You need parity. You need, 10 years. You need both these teams gunning for a conference title, and it needs to be, one team 8-2 and one team 9-1 with to really add to the rivalry. That's all true, but you can't convince me it's not a rivalry. I think it's an instant rivalry.
Yep.
I think both these teams are going to treat it like that. There's two train of thoughts, though. Coach Fitzgerald kind of downplays it, says it's really not. Coach Peterson, he kind of spurs on the rivalry, pokes the bear, and says it is. So even the coaches disagree on this one. So I don't know what side everybody's on, whether it's a rivalry or not, but I think you're going to see by the size of the crowd tonight, I think a lot of people think it's a rivalry because they're going to show up here. I'm expecting 10,000 people here tonight. Now, You are hurt a little bit because school is now out for Thanksgiving break, so you wonder how many students from SUU or Utah Tech went home for the Thanksgiving week off break. So hopefully the student body sticks around for this game, 5 o'clock, and then go off and enjoy all week next week and Thanksgiving with the family. So I'm expecting and hoping for a packed house tonight.
Yeah, and I think it should be, and I know both sides, both the Utah Tech side and the SUU side have gathered their fans together. I know SUU is planning on trying to do a whiteout, right? I know they're trying to tell the fans wear a bunch of white, and I know on the Utah Tech side they're saying bring your red, right? That's just kind of how it goes. So that's when you have those things going on for both sides. Yeah, that's going to mean that both fans are really involved. The fan bases are involved. And when the fan bases are involved, that's when you build rivalries. That's really where this comes into play. Yes, I agree with you 100% about the idea of fighting for titles against each other, having winning records, and you're going up against each other in the last game of the season. All that stuff is very helpful, and it just creates a bigger rivalry atmosphere, but it doesn't mean we don't already have the beginnings of that.
Yeah, exactly. And the big in-state rivalry is obviously BYU versus Utah. We're going to get that in conference. But when SUU left the Big Sky, came to the WAC, and then the WAC obviously merged to form this new United Athletic Conference that we're playing this year for the first time ever. And shout out to Austin Peay, by the way. They go undefeated in conference. They won earlier today. They're your outright champs. We'll see them in the FCS playoffs. I don't know if Central Arkansas will have enough to get in that large bid or not. They lost that game 14-12. But when we do get to the point where SUU and Utah Tech are fighting for that conference title, and we're talking about postseason, it's only going to add fuel on the fire. But I'm pumped. I don't care which side you're rooting for, if you're a T-Bird fan or Trailblazer fan. The line in this game, it's interesting. SUU is coming into this game 5-5. Blazers just 2 wins this year, and Trailblazers are home, but SUU is 13-point favorites right now going into this 5 o'clock kickoff. So that was surprising me. I thought it would be 10. I thought maybe SUU by 10, a little higher than I thought.
Yeah, and, I saw someone who put out their own personal poll for the UAC and for the games going on through the UAC today, and they had Utah Tech winning this game in an upset. So I know it's obviously a home game for Utah Tech. As you mentioned, yes, the line does favor SUU, but there are people who are saying, no, Utah Tech's got the team that can get it done, and we've seen that. We've seen both Utah Tech and SUU in similar positions where they lose close games to fellow UAC opponents. So we saw SUU do that multiple times. We saw Utah Tech do that multiple times. Well, now they're facing each other. So which one is it that's going to be the outright winner in the game today? I mean, yet to be determined, obviously. But both of these teams really do have the talent to go out there and get the win today.
Yeah, and you look at how close it could have been for the T-Birds this year. I mean, They darn near beat Arizona State, got walled by BYU, lose a heartbreaker by 2 to a ranked UC Davis team. And then you look at some of the other games, the Central Arkansas game, the Austin Peay game, some of those other games that were so close. But they are riding a 3-game winning streak coming into this game today. Meanwhile, the Blazers, they started the season playing number 3 Montana State, number 13 Montana, and then got into their conference play. And unfortunately, they are riding a 4-game win streak. Last time they won was back October the 7th. But you can kind of throw all that out the window. This is the playoff game. They're still in that 4th year of probationary period with the NCAA, not eligible for postseason play. So this is their bowl game. This is their playoff game for the Trailblazers here at Greater Zion Stadium tonight.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we forget that Utah Tech is fresh to Division I, and the fact that they are competitive as they have been in itself is phenomenal. We look at that jump from Division I to Division II, and not everyone has the success. And I know the wins and losses in some ways can speak for themselves, but you watch it out there on the field and you're thinking, no, they have it. They're right there. Coach Peterson has these guys coached up to the point where they are in it. They're competitive. And at this point, you know what? That's what we're asking for. We just want competition, and we're in it. We're in competition.
And competition is exactly what both these teams have been. I mean, SUU has won more of those games. They've got 3 more wins, but you're looking at, if they beat UC Davis and they somehow would have beat Arizona State, which they lost by a combined 5 points in those 2 games, they lose 29-27 to Central Arkansas.
Overtime with Austin Peay.
Yeah, overtime loss 48-45. I mean, you get a couple more of those games, we're talking about an at-large bid for SUU. I think if they got 7, maybe an 8th win, this is a playoff caliber team. You got a veteran quarterback in Justin Miller. In fact, Coach Peterson knows him well from Snow College days. He's 25 years old. He's married. He's got a kid. There's actually a few guys on both teams that are married with kids, and we're going to have one of them join us a little bit later in the pregame show, Jaden Scott, the safety for the Trailblazers. In fact, Armani, his young son, 8 months old, was holding him during the interview. Yeah. Joined him on the coaches show earlier this week as well. Comes to practice with them because of work circumstances. So that's not crazy. People in Utah are more used to that than people in New York or LA or California or whatever. So this is fun. I mean, building blocks are in place. And, this coaching staff, Paul Peterson's staff, they've had these tough transition years. Delane Fitzgerald was a rebuild. He was hired to come in and rebuild. Ed Lamb had built it up, and then Demario Warren saw it kind of crumble back down, and he had to come in, and he loves to come in and rebuild. And you look at all these, portal kids and transfer kids and new recruits, and he's only in his 2nd year. If the T-Birds win this game and go 6-5, people in Cedar City got to be ecstatic with the job Delane Fitzgerald's doing. But if Paul Peterson, even though it's only 3 wins, they win this rivalry game, you're satisfied, and now you're out of that probationary period. You can go hit the recruiting trail. You take a lot of momentum in the offseason. Let's not forget how big this rivalry game is in the recruiting front.
Oh, 100%.
Both these teams will have coaches in living rooms talking to the same kids. And, a kid's going to look at that score and go, they won it this year. Yeah, maybe they're on the rise. Maybe I want to go play for them. So this is a big game tonight.
Well, and especially when you look across, they played each other twice last season and they split it. So the winner of this one really does get those bragging rights just a little bit more. You could say, hey, over the last 2 seasons, we went 2-1 against our regional opponent, whether that's SU or Utah Tech, whoever that is, they want to be holding that 2-1 record over the last 2 seasons. So when you look at it from that perspective, you want to come out of this with that winning record. Fitzgerald and his team's got one. Peterson and his team has the other. So who's it going to be tonight? I mean, to be determined, but I can't wait for it. It's going to be an exciting ballgame.
Utah Tech pregame presented by Sand Hollow Resort. The Estates Phase 1 now selling. Beautiful lots, 360-degree views. Go check that out. We've also got the Championship 18-hole course, which is one of the top 50 in the country and one of the top public courses, obviously, in the state of Utah. And then always good to get over there to the Sand Hollow Grill for breakfast, lunch, or dinner before or after your next round. Pregame built by Bucks Ace Hardware as well. We're loaded. Cade and I are going to sit down, and I talked with Coach John John Hughes, Coordinator's Corner, Jaden Scott, Daniel Thomason, a former Alta Hawk. Going to check with him, take his temperature, and get you all ready for this game. We're going to get you some statistics. We're going to go inside the numbers and get you ready for kickoff. We got you till 4:30. Then we'll bring in Rod Zundel, Devin Osborne into the pregame show, and then, of course, kickoff tonight, 5 o'clock on the Fan Sports Network as well as ESPN+. Going to be a good one tonight. Trailblazers hosting the T-Birds. Quick break. We'll come right back, and we'll catch up with Coach John Hughes and to check in with how the coaching staff is feeling and preparing for this game tonight.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross. Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Hey, welcome back here at Greater Zion Stadium. Glad you're with us on the pregame show on the Fan Sports Network and Trailblazer Vision on YouTube. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster. If I had some eligibility and I wasn't so old, I would love to suit up in a game like this tonight and get it on. It's going to be physical. I think the intensity, Caden, tonight is going to be just ratcheted up a bit. And we've seen so many close conference games. I have a feeling this one's going to be close tonight and come down to the final drive.
I think so. I think it very well could. You know, we've seen both of these teams go in and score a bunch. I think this is going to be a shootout, just the way that these two teams play ball. I mean, yeah, they like to score touchdowns. So we could see this one being a high-scoring game, maybe in the 30s, potentially even up into the 40s. Who knows?
Trailblazer Tailgate Show, countdown to kickoff is on. And earlier this week, had a chance to catch up with John Hughes. Fun to chat with the co-offensive coordinator. Here's the conversation. He was very complimentary of the coaching staff and the players at SUU, but really emphatic on what he needs from his guys if they're going to win this game tonight at home. Here's that story.
T-Birds, Trailblazers, 5 o'clock on a Saturday night, and here to talk all things Trailblazer football, John Hughes, co-offensive coordinator. Coach, good to have you in. How you been, bud?
Been great. Really appreciate you having me. Really appreciate the support for the program. It's good to be back.
Yeah, let's fire up the rivalry talk a little bit, man. Is there a little extra pep in the step of the players in practice this week, getting ready for this showcase?
Yeah, I think it's a really unique rivalry that we have. You know, not very often in college football do you find two schools so close together in proximity, and obviously now that we're in the same conference, and so it's a special deal. I think it's great for both programs, both universities, both communities, and so that's fun. Are the guys excited? Absolutely. You know, we have the opportunity to go out there and finish a season that has been a long road, but I feel like we're getting better. So we have an opportunity to finish on a high note against a team that we're very familiar with in a program and university that, like I said, we're familiar with and we know a lot about. So we're excited for the matchup.
Coach Hughes here with us. Trailblazers enter this game just 2-8. Coach 1-4 in conference play, but man, we've been in a lot of close games. I mean, how can you without sugarcoating it, because you're kind of judged by wins and losses, but how do you stay positive? Because I feel like improvement's been made from last season to this season, even though the win-loss record isn't what it is.
Yeah, my goal for my group, the offensive line, and I guess as the offense as well, or for the offense as well, is to be playing better football week 11 than we were week 1. And I think that was the first thing I told my guys up front when we started our season, is this is the goal. Okay, you need to get better every week. And if we collectively can get better as a unit, then we're going to show progress on the football field. As an offense, have we gotten better? Are we making strides? I believe we are. I believe we're making progress. I believe we've been playing better football and making progress towards being the unit that I think we can be. Now, have we left some plays out there? Absolutely. Have the games gone the way we wanted to as of late? No, they haven't. But yeah, I got to say I'm really proud of the players, the way they're showing up and still fighting. They're practicing hard. We just had a walkthrough this morning, and they're focused, they're upbeat, and you can tell that they're still hungry and they want to win. And so, yeah, it's been a rough season, and we've been in some really close games. And but I just hats off to the young men in our program and the way that they continue to show up and get after it. And I've said this on the show before, but I'm going to keep saying it. You focus on the process, not the results. And you go in the same. I go in the office the same every Sunday, regardless of whether the Saturday before was a win or a loss, and game plan the same, and treat every game the same, and hope that the guys are dialed in and that we're focused and ready and ready to compete.
Coach Hughes with us here. Let's talk about the rivalry from your perspective. Last year, you guys split, both winning at home. Both were competitive games. You got the battle axe at Greater Zion Stadium right now down in the locker room somewhere in a trophy case or something. Is there real hatred? I mean, we need longevity. We need parity to really take this rivalry where we think it can go. But is it already an instant rivalry? And how good of a rivalry do you think it is? Because these two teams didn't play for like 60-plus years.
Yeah. I wouldn't say there's hatred. I think it's, like I said earlier, I think it's a unique opportunity for us because we're so close. Like, I was a graduate assistant at the University of Akron, and our rival there was Kent State. And we were like 15 miles away. That's unique. So I think a lot of the players know each other. In this state of Utah, as close as we are, I think it's unique because a lot of the guys on the team know each other. And maybe they grew up playing high school football together, or because we're so close, you run into each other every now and then. I wouldn't say there's a hatred. I think, as far as I'm concerned, I've got respect for what they're doing up there. I think Coach Fitzgerald's done a great job this year. They're playing a strong brand of football. He's got their defense playing hard. They're scoring points. And so for me personally, and I don't know if this is the best interview question or interview answer, faceless opponent, most important game of the year because it's this week's game. And my job is to get those 5 guys up front ready to play a football game regardless of who we're playing. It is a special deal, and I'm excited for it. And we obviously want to keep the battle axe home at Utah Tech University. And I'm not saying that the outcome of the game is not important. However, I don't want our guys to be so emotionally focused on the rivalry or who we're playing and forget to go out there and play with fundamentals and assignment sound football. So my job has been to focus on, hey, we're going to see this type of defense, expect these type of games and this type of pressure, or with this type of coverage, and this is what we need to do to be successful.
I mean, the winning team probably has a little bit of a sales pitch to recruits, and then there's probably, maybe you can talk to how many recruits you guys are recruiting that are, looking at both programs, but there's got to be at least a handful, especially the in-state kids.
Absolutely. Is it a big game for both programs? 100%. We are going to recruit the same guys in the state of Utah, even in California or Vegas, where I recruit. In the Inland Empire, I mean, we're always going to be running into each other on the road. And so to be able to say, hey, man, this is how this game went, and this is where we're at in that program, I think it gives us a leg up in that perspective. And so it is an important matchup in that regard. Absolutely.
A little rivalry talk here, getting you ready, countdown to kickoff. Trailblazers hosting the T-Birds. Let's get it on here to wrap up the regular season. 5 o'clock kickoff. We're getting closer and closer here. Let's talk a little bit about X's and O's. How important is, being balanced tonight, protecting Kobe, and obviously creating some holes for whoever's running the football. We've been sharing the load in the backfield has been divvied up a little bit this year between 2-3 guys.
Yeah. Number one goal is to keep number 16 on his feet. I'm tremendously proud of Kobe Tracy, who he is, what he's doing for our program. I love the way that young man has continued to get better. I think he's playing a really confident brand of football right now. And so our job up front is to keep him on his feet. Absolutely. We've been doing better in that regard. I know we struggled a little bit early, but we're working hard in protection to try to keep him on his feet schematically, fundamentally, and finishing, until that ball's thrown. And we have to be able to run the football. And, that's something that we've been doing okay with, I think, throughout the season. I'm really proud of those running backs we have. Ronnie Walker is just a tremendous young man. What a squared away player he is. He's a better person than he is a player. I'll tell you what. I mean, he's awesome. Chris Street, I could say the same thing about him. And then Nigel Osborne, just flashy, man. Just got all the tools. So we've got some guys back there that can run the football and exploit some defenses. We just got to give them the opportunity to make a play in space. So that's our job up front.
Kobe Tracy, quarterback for the Blazers, thrown at least a touchdown pass in 9 of 10 games this year, 7 multi-touchdown games. He's been heating up a little bit as of late. And, that goes to Bo Sparks. He's getting the ball to Keith Davis. Obviously, Ricky Johnson playing his final game.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like for those seniors, man? You put blood, sweat, tears into the program. This is the final go for guys like Ricky, guys like Max Christensen that have been here a long time, and the list goes on. And I know there's some guys that'll walk but could have some eligibility left still from the COVID years. But this is not a big senior class.
No, it's not. And hats off to guys like Ricky Johnson, Max, that have been here and fought and competed the way they have. It is going to be a big night for them. Emotionally, you just come to terms with the fact that what you've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years is going to be very different. And I know a couple of those guys have aspirations to continue to play. But it's a big night for them. I can speak on Ricky. He was a young man that was from Vista Marietta High School that I got the opportunity to recruit. And so it's been really fun to watch him grow up, and just so proud of him and what he's done for our program, who he is. He's a great captain, better person, and I'm excited to watch him play. He did have a big game against them last year, and I'm excited to see him go out there and get after it and leave it on the field. I know he will.
Who's some guys on defense that, you maybe got to run some plays away from a little bit? They got some dudes. Aubrey Nellums comes to mind. Colmore, the linebacker, their nose tackle. They've got some guys that have popped on tape. As you guys are preparing the offensive game plan, what are some of the keys to the game?
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job defensively. I know them by numbers, not names, but I know 93 and 94 are doing a really nice job for them up front. They're both physical players. 93 is going to be a 3 technique inside. 94 is a defensive end. Like I said, both physical. I think they're playing assignment sound football. I think they like to try to eat up double teams up front and get those runs funneled back to the linebackers, number 6 and 22, doing a really nice job in the box. They're long, they're lengthy, they're fast, they could play. They're assignment sound, and they play hard. Our job is to try to create angles and to play with better pad level, better fundamentals than them for 60 minutes. And up front, we told our guys all season it's about a mentality. And I talked a little bit about the fact that most important game of the season, because it's this week's game, our job is to go out there and play hard and finish and play with a mentality and outplay somebody for 60 minutes. I don't care who we're playing, but you're playing up front. You're playing with a little bit different mindset, and I'm really excited about the challenge. I think our guys are as well. And hats off to them. Again, I'm not going to say anything negative about a program, but I'm excited about the matchup that we have up front. I think it's going to be 2 groups that are ready to get after it, and it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Bragging rights are on the line.
Yeah.
Will this be the most physical game of the season? I would guess it could be.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think that a lot of that depends on how we want to show up. I know they're going to play hard, and so I'm excited to see the way our guys respond up front and play with the mentality, play assignment sound, fundamentally great, and finish for 60 minutes. That's the plan.
Yeah, it can be interesting. Sometimes you throw the analytics in these rivalry games out the window. Maybe some roll the dice. I know Coach Peterson likes to go for it on occasion. I think red zone opportunities, 3rd and 4th down conversions, all going to be magnified in a game like this.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something we know as an offense we've got to do a better job of. Are we putting ourselves in third and manageable situations? Are we making plays when it counts? You look at a couple of those games throughout the season. You think to yourself, well, they come down to 1 or 2 plays, but in reality, you're looking at all 72, 75, 80 snaps. But we've got to be good on those 3rd and short situations. We've got to be good on 3rd down. We've got to stay on the field. We got to give our defense a chance, who, by the way, has been playing really good football here these past couple of weeks. Really proud of those guys. And so I'm excited to watch that matchup as well. But, yeah, score in the red zone, stay on the field on third downs, run the ball effectively, keep number 16 on his feet, and play. Like I've said this a couple times now, but play with a mentality for 60 minutes and want it more than them. I think that's the focus.
I love it. John Hughes, thanks for stopping by, Coach. Have some fun on a Saturday night.
I will.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Pregame show continues. Countdown to kickoff is on. Trailblazers, T-Birds.
That was Coach Hughes. Fun to chat with Coach Hughes. He was very complimentary of the T-Birds, Coach Fitzgerald and staff, and obviously mission at hand to try to beat those guys, and focused on his players executing their stuff. And we'll see how it plays out tonight. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff, Caden.
Yeah, just about half an hour away. We're getting close.
Hey, we got a couple more players that we chatted with, and we'll have those interviews when we come back. It's Trailblazer Countdown to Kickoff here, the Tailgate Show presented by and built by Bucks Ace Hardware and Sand Hollow Resort. Stay with us.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Still. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross. Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Oh my gosh, are you sure? Mm-hmm. Hey, we're back here at Greater Zion Stadium. Pre-game show continues. The Battle Axe rivalry is on, and the T-Birds and the Trailblazers both getting that pregame warm-ups on. There's a bunch of celebrities here. We got part of the Red Kingdom here. There's Coach Wayne Olofupo. There's Coach Stokes. They just coached up the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs to a state championship yesterday. Now they're here to watch a football game.
There you go. Congrats, Crimson Cliffs, on bringing home that 4A state championship.
Yeah, looking across the way, there's Athletic Director Ken Beezer here where we're broadcasting from. Steve Johnson just said hello. I was just talking with a lot of folks here getting ready for this game. The whole community in Cedar City and St. George pretty fired up.
I'm seeing some county representatives, some city officials and things like that as well spotted around the building. So definitely a community event for sure.
Let's get into some of the players' perspectives. Daniel Thompson, let's start with Daniel. Last week, Daniel broke out, and we've seen flashes, but 6 catches, 100 yards, and his first touchdown of the season. And here's what he had to say about the rivalry game today.
Daniel Thomason with me, getting ready for the rivalry game, the battle for the axe. It's SUU coming down for the feet on 15, and the receiver hanging out with me here. In-state kid, man, tell me about the trip down from Sandy, Utah, playing for Alta, and now you're a Trailblazer.
Yes, sir. Honestly, it wasn't too big of a trip because I went on a mission, and then I just came here from Sandy. But it's been a good time over here at Utah Tech, just building and trying to figure things out over here. So
you have a great core of receivers, you know, some upperclassmen you probably learned a lot from. What's it like going to work with those guys every day? Guys like, you know, seniors, Ricky Johnson, for instance. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to be in the war rooms with a guy like that.
Oh, absolutely. We during the summertime, that was my guy, is Ricky, Moat, and we'd go out and work every day, and they just pushed me, and they just showed me what it's like to work hard, and I just have high hopes for this off season and the next off season because I know I'm gonna get better. So
what's it like? Let's get to know you a little bit. What do you like to eat? What do you like to do when you're not playing football? What are you studying? Let's get to know Daniel.
You know, I like to play pickleball and hang out with friends, play Fortnite, just the little things like that. But I mean, I like eating chicken and rice, keeping it simple, just because I don't know how to cook too much. So if any of you know how to cook and you want to help me out, let me know. But
where's the best spot in town to go get some good chicken?
Chick-fil-A. Hey, that's the only place I really be going.
Spoken like a true college student, right?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. I go to Chick-fil-A and eat there. But other than that, In-N-Out, some other places like that. But
there you go. Get it animal style. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, from a player's perspective, you know, you guys have been on the road a lot this year. Already 7 road games. This will be just the 4th home game, but it's the rival game. How amped is this team? What's it like in practice this week, and what's the intensity going to be like on Saturday night in front of the home fans?
Right. Obviously, it's been a tough season. We haven't had the outcomes and the things that we wanted to in the games. We we got a good core over here. We got a good team. So we want to obviously come out and play this game like it's the next and beat SUU.
Coach has got a good game plan. You guys confident you can do that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We just got to execute. The coaches, obviously, they got to execute on their part too. And we want to keep our goals to keep the Axe here, and we're going to do it. So.
Yeah, last year you guys got that second one. You split. You had to play them twice. This year, just one. It's the last game of the season. Gonna be fun. You got a lot of friends and family coming down to watch the game.
Yeah, I got my my mom and some sisters and my brother coming down.
Football
so that'll
family?
be exciting.
You come from a football family?
I'm really the first football player, but my little brother plays football as well. So.
Love it. Love it. Good to get to know you a little bit. Good luck and put on a show out there.
Appreciate you.
Daniel Thomason, everybody hanging out with us here, getting ready.
Let's see what the receivers can do in this one. Obviously, both quarterbacks are going to need to have a big performance. Kobe, Tracy, Justin Miller, they've been great all year. The stars are out. It's the Blazers and the T-Birds. Hope you enjoyed our portion of the pregame show. Countdown to kickoff continues. Let's go up to the voice of the Trailblazers, Rod Zundel, with analyst Devin Osborne. And get
Hey, we all brothers, we all family. Let's go. Family on three. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Trailblazer Kickoff, presented by TDS, Internet, TV, Phone.
Let's go!
Southern Utah bragging rights are on the line. Trailblazers and T-Birds. We have 30 minutes to kick off in the battle for the axe.
And hi there, everybody. Welcome inside Greater Zion Stadium. We are getting close to Utah Tech and Southern Utah. Hi there, everybody. Glad to have you aboard this evening. Rod Zundel, along with former Trailblazer Devin Osborne. And Devin, the rivalry game is here. You played in this twice last year because of a scheduling conflict. What does this mean, and is it a rivalry at this point?
It's been something we've been talking about since I've been a freshman here. You know, being a Division II, we didn't always get to play them or had the opportunity. And we've always, people in this community, in this town, always wanted to play SUU up there in Iron County. So it means a lot to us, especially when we got to play them for the first time in almost 8-9 years last year. You know, we kind of split the series, but we ended up coming back with that axe.
Yeah, you lost last year in Cedar City, got the win here in St. George, and you got to hold the axe. And Coach Peterson at practice this week, he was carrying the axe along with a T-shirt saying that birds aren't real. And so it does mean something, even though it's kind of reborn from a long time ago.
Yeah, it's something for surely newer for a lot of people in this area, in this community, that kind of the younger generation. You know, St. George, one of the fastest growing cities, so there's a lot of new people here, but you can kind of see it, especially out there at the tailgate, around campus, throughout this whole community. Everybody's been kind of bought into this whole battle of the axe.
You see the cheerleaders right there, and going to have a good crowd. This place is going to be packed. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, Devin, the Trailblazers, they have a 4-game losing streak. Southern Utah has a 3-game winning streak. Last week, they went to Clarksville, Tennessee, the number 1 team in the conference, Austin Peay, and it was a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter. They were right there. They did a lot of good things. Let's take a trip back to Clarksville from last week in this edition of Sounds of the Game.
Welcome to Clarksville, Tennessee. The final road game of the season for the Trailblazers. It is kind of a cool fall afternoon here in Tennessee, 61 degrees. It is breezy.
And today, in honor of Veterans Day, Military Appreciation Day, look at the helmets that Utah Tech will be wearing today. The Stars and Stripes and the UT.
Here comes the pressure. DeLillo goes down. There is Brandy Okeke saying, oh, no, no. Tracy looks right, out in the flat, caught. Ricky's got it, 20, 25, up to the 29-yard line. To the left side, Jamie Loftus got it, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Kobe Tracy to Jamie Loftus! Here comes Cyrus Webster. DeLillo gets away from him, pumps fake, rolling right, throws it downfield, intercepted by Jordan Scott. Intercepted by Jordan Scott. Oh, what a diving catch by Jordan. And there's Devin Perkins for a pick. Devin Perkins with his interception, the second of the first half for this Utah Tech defense. DeLillo, here comes the sack, and guess who? Cyrus Webster. And that will officially do it. With that sack, Cyrus Webster now all by himself on the top of the list for Utah Tech's all-time career sacks. Across the middle, tip, batted, and is it caught by Thomason? I think it is. Daniel Thomason has the football on the tip ball, and they're going to call it a catch. They bring the house, fake the handoff to Nigel. Tracy just flips it up to Ricky Johnson at the 35 to 30 on his feet inside the 15-yard line. Oh, what a play by Kobe Tracy. Tracy gonna throw, looks left, now looks over the middle, into the end zone, touchdown! Touchdown Trailblazers, Daniel Thomason. And how do you like the Trailblazers now? Extra point coming up to cut the lead to 3. Gutsy effort by the Trailblazers. Heavy underdogs, and they gave the conference champs all they wanted.
All right, 30-17 was the final, and now Austin Peay is battling Central Arkansas for the outright conference championship today. But when you go in and play the top team in a conference like that, you've been here and you played some pretty darn good competition here, and you play them with a 3-point deficit going in the fourth quarter, got a chance. And how frustrating is that on the plane ride home, knowing that you gave it all you got and you had your chances, because Utah Tech had plenty of chances to win this thing last week?
Just it's a lot of like, what is, we could have did this, watching film, understanding that we could have called this play differently or things like that. But, in a moment where you're playing and you're going 100%, you don't think like that. So it's just Utah Tech does need to execute, especially on the offensive side, not turn over the ball late in the game. Executing long drives and sustainable drives, getting their defense off the field so they make sure they can execute and score points.
The Utah Tech defense had a season-high 5 sacks against the number 1 scoring offense in the conference. And by the way, Austin Peay averaged over 50 points a game at home, and they were held to 30. So if Utah Tech can play the way they did last week here tonight against Southern Utah, but finish it,
yes,
then they're going to be just fine, and that axe is going to stay here in St. George. All right, well, you kind of broke it down for us. Let's go to the expert now, head coach Paul Peterson, in this week's edition of Film Session, looking back to what went right and what went wrong last week in Clarksville.
I've got some good clips here. Early in the game, take a look at Javion right here. The corner's we got a cloud corner. That means he's gonna come down and get the flat. The safety's on the hash. They're running a little cloud coverage here, and he doesn't get off the hash in time. We're able to hit what we call the hole shot here. So really good job by Kobe. Really good job by Javion. Safety takes a bad angle, and we got a big time play. Really good job by Javion on the finish, but fun touchdown early in the game. It's 7-3 at this time. Really good drive. This is a third down here. We're going to run a little concept here. We're coming across in the middle. There's a big window. This is unfortunate. It gets tipped. They got a little spy by the linebacker right here who gets his hand on the ball. Really good read by Kobe. Good route by Ricky. Unfortunate here. We end up kicking the field goal, and we actually missed the field goal. So instead of being 14-3 at this time, we end up getting no points, 7-3. So really critical play in the game where we got a chance to get up on them good. This is actually a very similar play with similar coverage. You can see we take the safety out. There's not a good window, but we've got Daniel Thomason here in the back of the end zone here. Big game for Daniel, 100 yards receiving, but really good job, good timing by Kobe. Good execution, fun touchdown for us. This also as well was a critical juncture. We got a 4th down here, and they're going to do a punt with the quarterback. So just a little fun fact here. When they do this punt, Brandy Okeke pushes him into the punter, ends up getting blocked. The punt's blocked, but once it passes the line of scrimmage, still a punt. Yeah, it's not a fumble. If it goes behind line of scrimmage, fumble. Go return it. Or get it. If they get it, it's still our ball. But once it passes the line of scrimmage, you can see Jordan Scott touches that ball. That's like a muffed punt. And so really we got 10 guys saying, poison, 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 get out of the way. It kind of ends up at his feet. You can see people getting out of the way. Really critical part where he muffs it. They end up getting the ball. You can't advance a muff punt, but they end up getting some points out of this, so another critical part of the game. Our defense played some really good defense. We had 5 sacks on the game. Brandy Okeke had 2. You can see him coming off the edge, does a really good job. He had 2 sacks. Cyrus Webster had 2 sacks, and Sniffen had a sack. We had 2 interceptions. We'll see here in just a second, but that's one of the sacks. Really fun. Jordan Scott down here at the bottom. We kind of get a little confused here with the coverage, but you can see we get him out of the pocket. He's not able to throw it, and we get a nice little tightrope on the sideline by Jordan Scott being able to get his feet down. NFL, too. He got two feet down. So really, really fun job. You can see Sniffen thinks he throws it right there. He might have got another sack, but really good execution by Jordan getting those feet down and a turnover right there. We need to score touchdowns after that. This is Devin Perkins up there at the top. We've got some good coverage. We're trying to do a little double move here at the top. He stays on top of it. The quarterback's able to throw it. Not on the same page. Good interception by Devin Perkins. Fun to see these guys have some success, especially when they're trying to take a shot. But really good hands by Dev here on the sideline in the right spot, the right time. Big time. You can see how excited our guys are for him. That's awesome. Look, Coach J.B. Hall loves it too. Look at him. He's their coach. The biggest fan right there. That's big time. Fun. This is Cyrus Webster's sack. He needed to get rid of that quarterback. Needed to get rid of the ball. Cyrus laying the wood there. Again, 2 sacks. Became the all-time leading sack leader. He's at the top. You got to get a body on him. And really fun execution there. They're doing a little play action where they slide the tight end across. He's in protection, so they got max protection. They think they do. And Cyrus does a really good job coming off the edge. Pap! Really fun to see him make some plays out on the football field. There we go.
All right, that was head football coach Paul Peterson breaking down last week's game. Very hard-fought, well-played game, except for the final couple of plays where they needed to make the plays and they just didn't finish it off. So we're under 20 minutes from kickoff here. What was it like last year? 20 minutes to kick off. You're in the locker room. You're out on the field preparing, knowing that this is your rivals. This is bragging rights for you guys.
So it was amazing this last year because it was our homecoming game. We just got our brand new locker room. We were in there getting hyped up, and the energy was contagious because everybody knew that if we execute our assignments, we were going to come out and win that game, and ultimately we did. So it was amazing environment, especially last year.
Yeah, so that's what these guys are going through here with under 20 minutes left to go to kickoff. All right, the parents, family, and friends are out ready to honor the seniors. 19 seniors playing their final game here, or at least they have the opportunity to play their final game. Some may come back. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll show you some of the festivities going on Senior Day. That's when Trailblazer Kickoff comes back to St. George.
He's on the 30-yard line, the 20, the 10.
You wouldn't want an incomplete football game. So why use a website with incomplete listings of Southern Utah properties? SouthernUtahRealEstate.com is the most complete, most accurate, and most comprehensive property search in Washington County. Because we're not focused on everything, just on the part that we like the best. Find your Southern Utah home at SouthernUtahRealEstate.com.
Finley Hyundai, committed to high-quality service and sales for local drivers. Stress-free car buying guaranteed.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Still. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, Canyon Media, here for you.
It's any card for the win right now at Mountain America Credit Union, which means it's time to score some cash. Simply tap, swipe, or click checkout with any Mountain America debit or credit card to be entered into a weekly giveaway for up to $500, now until September 30th. Visit macu.com/anycard to learn how to earn extra entries or to open a new account today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
All right, the seniors, 19 of them being honored today. Some of them still have some eligibility left, and they can choose to come back for another year because of COVID and redshirting and all that. But 19, college-wise anyway, educational-wise, they're seniors. They're being honored. They got family and friends out here. You went through this. What was it like?
It was emotional, especially just putting all those days out there on the field in the weight room, and then it's finally coming to the end, your college experience finally coming to the end, and you kind of think it's going to be there forever, coming as a young wide-eyed freshman. But it was amazing being out there with my dad and my sister, kind of celebrating my career, all my teammates' careers. I've been kind of through this whole process of going Division I, name change, new field, new conference. It's been a long journey, and it was just so much fun, especially last year. And I know they're going through that same feeling, especially hugging their moms and their parents around.
Knowing that this is probably the last time that you're going to put on a football jersey after all those years, Little League, youth, Pop Warner, junior high, high school, some junior college, put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that uniform, and it's never going to happen again.
No.
That's kind of a cold, hard fact you got to face, isn't it?
Yep.
But look at you. Look where you're at now.
Yeah.
You get to sit
next to you.
Me and talk football.
I love every second of it.
All right, now one of the seniors that's saying goodbye, and man, what a career he's had. You were a receiver with him, for a few years. Ricky Johnson, the all-time leader in receptions, and he's got a chance, 138 more yards, to become the all-time leader in receiving yards. He's just incredible. He's going to get some looks in the NFL.
Oh, big time. Ricky, he has the stature, the size, the capability of just making those plays, especially down in the red zone on those third downs and things like that. I mean, his comparison kind of me is a kind of a faster Keenan Allen, just in that slot, working the different routes. And the cool thing with Ricky is, he's been through the whole process. He came in as a freshman. I was actually his host, so
really?
I take credit for Ricky Johnson. But he's an amazing guy, and it's sad to see him go. But the opportunities for him later is gonna be exciting.
And last week, 14 receptions. That ties a school record for amount of receptions in a single game. And you had what? How many receptions in one game?
9 or 11.
10, 11, yeah.
13 probably.
So, in another 10 years, it'll be 14 for you anyway. So
there you go.
In everybody's mind. So, but that's going to be a tough guy to replace. But what a career he's had. And he's, like we said, he's going to have a chance to make some noise in the NFL, or at least get a look. So, all right, while the seniors are being honored, we are going to take another break. When we come back, we'll get the final word from head coach Paul Peterson here on Trailblazer Kickoff.
He's on the 30-yard line, the 20, the 10.
You wouldn't want an incomplete football game. So why use a website with incomplete listings of Southern Utah properties? SouthernUtahRealEstate.com is the most complete, most accurate, and most comprehensive property search in Washington County. Because we're not focused on everything, just on the part that we like the best. Find your Southern Utah home at SouthernUtahRealEstate.com.
Finley Hyundai, committed to high-quality service and sales for local drivers. Stress-free car buying guaranteed.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Still. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, Canyon Media, here for you.
It's any card for the win right now at Mountain America Credit Union, which means it's time to score some cash. Simply tap, swipe, or click checkout with any Mountain America debit or credit card to be entered into a weekly giveaway for up to $500, now until September 30th. Visit macu.com/anycard to learn how to earn extra entries or to open a new account today.
All right, there's the Ricky Johnson and the family of Ricky Johnson. It's an emotional time, Devin.
No, big time. You put all your hard work, especially those parents, those sisters, and those grandparents that seen their kids from little Pop Warner kids to high school, and now finally at college. It's been a long time coming.
All right, the 19 seniors being honored. We are counting down the moments to kickoff. Let's get the final word with head coach Paul Peterson.
Coach, what can you take from last week's game on the road?
Yeah, a good team. They're 9-2, highly ranked. They're going to get maybe a first round bye, maybe not in the playoffs. And we're close. They made more plays than us, and they won the football game. But it was good to see where our program's at and what we have the potential to become. But when it gets tight like that, we got to come away with a win and a good team, and we'll get there.
Final game of the season at home, but more than that, just to get a win, to feel good about yourself and in the season. It's against your rivals, Southern Utah.
Yeah.
Just talk about the feeling this week.
Yeah, we hate them. I think the feeling's mutual. Coach Fitzgerald's done a really good job. They're playing good brand of football and tough, and it's gonna be a heavyweight fight, man. It's gonna be one of those fights gone bad where no one's backing down and you go blow for blow. It's gonna go all 10 rounds. We're ready for it and we're excited for it.
7 wins between the two teams, but you both are so much better than your record because you've had one possession games where it could have gone either way.
Yeah. Both teams have done well and shown that we belong in this conference, and that we're gonna be here and be good teams in this conference, especially us.
You're going to say goodbye to some really good players that have been with you since the beginning. This is their final game on this field.
Yeah, it's fun. They've put a lot of hard work, and they've been through a lot. The ups and downs with the transition, and coming off an 8-3 season where we've had the most wins to having a hard time adjusting to the Division I transition, but they've helped us progress to where we're at now, and we're grateful for them, and they'll always have a part in our program as being the building blocks for what we're doing now.
As head coach, what is it that you want to get through to your team, not only for those who play in their final game, but for those who are coming back? What do you want to instill in them this week and in the final game?
Yeah, I just think that recognize the process and see where you're at now and see what you need to fix. We're gonna assess every player, and we want them to be able to have confidence coming back that they're going to have a big part of our program, and as fast as they develop, as fast as we're going to be a championship program.
Battle for the Axe.
Let's go.
So you got it with you right there.
I'm going to keep it with us.
That's a heavy thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty heavy.
Yeah, and you have it right now.
Yes, sir. Carrying it all day in practice.
Yeah, Coach Peterson was carrying that axe all day in practice the other day. He wants to keep that thing here in St. George.
No, Coach Pearson, highly competitive guy. He doesn't want to lose, especially to those teams up north.
Yeah. Well, there's your seniors playing those who decide that have eligibility left. Those are your group of seniors, 19 of them, saying so long, their final time in a jersey. Special moment, emotional moment here tonight, Devin. Anyone who ever played the game, you've gone through this day. You can't get away from it. If you finish it off, you are a senior, and you know that, you know what, got to get on real life now, so.
Nah, big time. It's just a phase of our life, and football is one of those sports that you just can't play again. And, I know they're excited to go out there and leave it all out there in the field for them.
We talked about Ricky Johnson. He is number 2 in the conference in receiving yards. Number 1 in the conference? The guy across from him, Isaiah Wooden, the top receiver for Southern Utah. You know about him because he started his career here at Dixie.
Yeah, I played with Wooden his freshman year, his first ever play as a college player. He caught a reverse touchdown, 60-yard touchdown. So Wooden's has been that playmaker since back in San Diego when he played at Helix High School. Super fast guy, super charismatic. He loves to have fun, and you're going to see him running around, flying around the field. But, Ricky Johnson's not just going to let him go by easy.
Yeah, Isaiah Wooden, he has 13 touchdowns. So he's a touchdown maker. He had 4 touchdowns last week.
Off of 5 catches.
Yeah.
So, he's just a play from away from making, something big happen for SUU.
Yeah.
And, SUU run their offense through Isaiah. So we'll see that happen tonight.
Defense are going to do what they did last week, 5 sacks against Austin Peay's quarterback. They're going to have to get after Justin Miller, make him uncomfortable so he can't get back there and just look for Isaiah Wooden, or it could be a long night for the Trailblazers, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we're about ready to say so long here on Trailblazer Kickoff. Coming up next is the kickoff of Utah Tech and Southern Utah Battle for the X. You can hear that game over on the Fan Sports Radio Network and ESPN Plus as well. And you can also come back after the game for our Trailblazer post-game show. So we're going to leave you right now with, you got to pass the time when you're on the road, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what do? Some of the players in the lobby of the hotel play a ukulele, sing a song while trying to figure out a Rubik's Cube. Sounds fair enough. So Marley and Malachi Fakahua, they were giving us some entertainment in the lobby on a road trip. So you can listen to that as we say so long. The kickoff coming up next.
Thank you for waiting patiently. Daddy's home. Daddy's home to stay. I had a girl, and Donna was her name. Since she left me, I haven't been the same. Oh, my girl.